Welcome everyone. My name is Patricia and it is 7 p.m. here in sunny-ish Montreal. I'm here with a bunch of new colleagues and students and that you'll get to meet in the next few minutes. So I just want to tell you a little bit about how our webinar is going to take place today. So this presentation is going to take about 30 to 35 minutes. You will be able to ask questions in the Q&A section of your panel. In your panel, please go ahead and identify where it says handouts. We have placed two very important handouts, so feel free to download them right away because it has very, very important information and links that you want to make sure you keep, okay? So before we even get started, we would actually like to know where you're joining us from. So let's go ahead and in the Q&A section of the panel, please write down what city you're joining us from and what time it is, so that way we can address you properly. So Singapore, welcome. Wow, I believe it's really late in Singapore. Toronto, yes, right next door. Welcome, Chloe from Toronto. Welcome, Rose from Singapore. Lauren from Chicago, welcome. Monique from Ottawa, okay. Brooklyn, fantastic. Madison, how are you doing? Minnesota as well. Vancouver, West, great. Sophia, welcome. We have a lot of people from Quebec City. That is wonderful. Zola, how are you doing? We also have students from India. Chan, welcome to our webinar. We have from Bolivia. Wow. Hello, Maria. Welcome to our webinar as well. And we have from Switzerland as well. 1 a.m. Oh my gosh, we will make it worth your while to join us at 1 a.m. your time. Thank you very much. We have from Philadelphia, Vancouver, Burlington. This is amazing. So we have a really nice crowd. So again, we just want to welcome you and just to remind you that that's the part that you want to use, that chat box, in order to ask your questions, okay? So like I said, we're going to have a 35-minute presentation, and at the end, we will have Q&A. So please make sure that you ask your questions and they will be addressed, okay? So now I'd like to introduce you to everyone who is here, a part of the webinar, all of my colleagues. So I'd like my colleagues to please turn on their cameras so they can introduce themselves as well. And then we will continue the second part of the webinar. So go ahead, guys, and introduce yourselves. It's over to you.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry, can I go first?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Nellie Viduris, and I'm a faculty advisor at the office, Arts OASIS, and the Office for Advising Student Information Services. I would just like to congratulate everyone, right, that we're dealing with a class who just recently got accepted to McGill in the Faculty of Arts. And I just would like to also say that I graduated from McGill a very long time ago. And congratulations. And I'll just let the other ones talk.
So hi everyone, my name is Thomas. So I'm a third year here at McGill doing a joint honors in political science and international development. I'm originally from France, so si vous avez des questions en français, je peux y répondre. Donc n'hésitez pas à les poser dans le chat.
Hi guys, my name is Ilsa. I'm originally from Vancouver. I saw we have a couple Vancouverites in the chat. I'm also pursuing a double major in political science and international development studies, and I'm a student ambassador and tour guide with McGill.
Hi everyone, my name is Maddie. I'm a third year honors political science student at McGill, double minoring in Arabic and Hispanic studies. And I'm from Connecticut in the States. And like Ilsa, I am a McGill tour guide and student ambassador.
Hi everyone, my name is Ayango. I am also an ASAP like Thomas, and I'm double majoring in political science and international development studies, and I'm in my third year.
And Oyongo, where are you right now, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so right now I'm back home in Mongolia.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that with us.
And if I can share with you, Patricia, Thomas and Nyongu are ASAPs, which means it's the Arts Student Advising Program. They work at Arts Oasis with us, and we're going to talk more about them in a minute. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, Nelly, so over to you.
Yeah, so we really, I think today is we're academics. So I'm sure everybody's just thinking about when am I going to register? So in order to register, you're going to need to understand certain things about the Faculty of Arts. So we're going to talk about advising and registration for most of the part today. And we're going to tell you when you're going to register. You're not going to register now, but we are going to talk about when you'll be able to register. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. And then we're going to talk about a bit about wellness in the Faculty of Arts, just talking about how they both work together. Academics and wellness work very well together because that's how you're going to succeed. And by the end, like we said, the whole goal of this is for you to ask questions and to make sure that they get answered. And we're all going to participate in this aspect. So I'm going to do a presentation just talking about the structure of the BA degree, talking about advising, and then just going straight into the Q&A section, okay? Now, the Faculty of Arts, I don't know if you know this, but we are the biggest faculty on campus at McGill University. We house about over 9,000 undergraduate students. We have all over the world, we have about 70,000 alumni. Like I mentioned that I went to McGill, Patricia went to McGill. So we're everywhere, and we have a big alumni, and we always work together because we're so proud to be McGilligans, right? In the Faculty of Arts, because we're so large, we have about 13 departments. And what I mean by departments are, they focus on a certain subject, like we have a political science department, and we have the history department. And we also have 22 interdisciplinary programs, which means it's not a department, but it's a program where they have subjects from different departments. And we have 8 schools, like the School of Religious Studies. So you can see it's a fairly big faculty. And we have over 300 professors that work in the Faculty of Arts. So, you know, you're gonna have a lot of choices of courses to take. Now, we're gonna talk a lot, and I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of questions. And what happens is you're probably gonna say, I don't remember what was the answer to my question. Well, you know what? Guaranteed, it's going to be in the first year guide for all new art students. We just uploaded it, the new version, last night. So if you go on the Arts Oasis page, under students, new students, you will find it. And it has everything you need to know, but before you start your studies at McGill and by the time you graduate. And what's great about the first year guide, it's written by a student, so it's from the student's perspective. And it's just great, and it covers everything about how to register, advising, the structure of the BA degree. Courses, like what's the difference between a 100 and a 200 level course. It talks about the GPA, and that's the grade point average, and this is what determines your standing. It explains that. It explains to you about how your transcript is going to look. It explains everything you need to know, and even introduces you about other resources on campus. So really, you're going to get a lot of information today, but I think the key is for you to read the first year guide for students. Now, advising resources. Now, what I really want you to think about when you think of Arts Oasis, you think of advising. Why? Because our role in Arts Oasis is to decipher all those rules and regulations in the Faculty of Arts, those policies, right? So this is what we do. And in the Arts Oasis, we have faculty advisors, and I'm a faculty advisor, and there's other colleagues of mine. We're about 5 faculty advisors in the Faculty of Arts, and our role is really to explain all these rules and regulations. But because the BA degree is, the flexibility of the BA degree allows you to choose courses and really leads you to a major that's unique to you. And I'll explain the structure in a bit. And what happens is you will come in to see us because we want to discuss to help you plan out your BA degree. And while we're planning it out, we also introduce you to other opportunities, because it's not only about going to class, right? Going to class and learning and meeting your colleague, but you want to go do other opportunities and learn. So we're going to talk about study away. We're going to talk about research. We're going to talk about field study courses. So you're going to come in and we're going to talk about it. Also, during your academic career, you might be experiencing some difficulties, and that'll be your role. And we can help you through it and discuss course load issues and just help you through this as well. We also, at Arts OASIS, doing a lot of remote outreach to our students. So if you go on Arts OASIS, you will see how we reach our students. We reach you by emails, and we also do express advising on Zoom and MS Teams, okay? Now, another type of advising is departmental advising. And they can be different types of advisors, like you have for smaller departments like philosophy. You get professors to be your advisor, and they help you explain your program, exactly what you need to do your major. And a major concentration is worth 36 credits. So they're going to tell you about the structure of your degree. They also can tell you the pros and cons of doing a major and a minor, right? But what happens is you'll see that through through your studies at McGill, your advisor sort of becomes like your mentor, because you'll see that they don't only talk about your program, they also will be able to introduce you other opportunities like internships and research, and also talk to you about grad school. So these are good resources that you're going to be advising resources that you're going to be using as well when you declare your major and your minor. And you can find a whole list that Patricia just showed you of all the departments, how the advising, how you can reach them. And then in the middle, the programs, the structures of those programs. And next to it, they have like an audit sheet. So each department has an audit sheet that you can fill out that helps you build to make sure you understand exactly what you need for your major or your minor. Okay. Another source of advising, well, it's called Service Point. And what Service Point does is records. So when you think of Service Point, you think of Minerva, registration. That's where you get your ID card. This is a place where they have information about how to pay your fees. If you're having problems with registration or an error, ID cards, fee payments, your legal documents is Service Point. So you're going to be dealing with them a lot too. And their contact information, how to contact them, is on their website as well. So key, OASIS, advising, Service Point is really records, Minerva, okay? Now, the types of students that we see this time of the year. Now, all degrees, all BA degrees are 120 credits. It's 4 years. Now, unless you have certain advanced standing credits. And if you go on this, you would see, you'll see that you might be eligible. If you're a student from CEGIP, we want you to read it because you're probably going to receive 30 advanced standing credits, and you're entering U1 and able to declare your major and your minor. Some students don't have any advanced standing credits, and they're coming in as a freshman student, U0. So we would like you to look at this website and see what is applicable to you. Do you have A levels, IBs, or APs? You can ask us these questions too. We can talk a bit about it at the end, but it does give you it does explain what type of student you are. Now, students with no advanced standing credits. Now, these are, well, not that you don't have advanced standing credits. If you have less than 24 advanced standing credits, you're a freshman student, U0. And the purpose of being a freshman student is to take subjects from different departments, different disciplines, so you can explore a program and then be ready to declare your program by the end of that academic year. Now, the freshman program consists of 4 categories. Now, before I explain the 4 categories, right, if you just go a bit up, Patricia, I want to show a video that we worked on, advanced standing, and it's very straightforward. It explains that all students come in a 120 credit program, and it explains the different types of students. So when you have a chance, please go on the video as well. But let's go into the freshman program now. The freshman program consists of 4 categories. So we have the humanities, the social sciences, the math and sciences, and the languages. What do you mean by social sciences is course, departments like political science, history, anthropology, sociology. Humanities are things like English literature, French literature, philosophy, art history, religious studies. And math and science, it speaks for itself, right? Math courses and sciences, and we offer a lot of science courses that are introductory level. You don't need math background to take. And we'll show you, and you can find a list of those approved courses in a minute, and languages speaks for themselves. And you need to fulfill 3 out of those 4 categories with 6 credits in each. With grades of C or better to meet your freshman program requirements. Now, you probably are wondering, what kind of courses, where can I find a list of what kind of courses I can take towards the freshman program? But if you go under students, we have an approved list of freshman courses that students can take. If you go under like humanities, you will see a whole list of the department and the courses that you can take. And they're all 100 and 200 level. They're all introductory. So you can find the courses there, okay? Now, students that have received 24 advanced standing credits, or who are coming from straight from CEGIP, or students with a French bac entering to a U1. So you can declare your major and your minor. And here's the list, and it explains to you what kind of structure you can follow. The multi-track honors you usually do in your second year of studies, but we're going to talk more about that as well. And the type of advising you receive will be the departmental advising. So when we talked about before about the advising services, you would go into the department, you would contact somebody in the department for advising. Now, this time of the year, we do not register for courses. Registration happens in June. And in May, towards the end of May, you're going to be receiving information from the CLAY office, Campus Life and Engagement, and they're going to be organizing webinars on registration, how to register. And then in the first 2 weeks, I believe on June 7th, we're going to be having information sessions and a program fair for all the new students to attend and help them select their courses and get the advising they need so they can register the following week and then the following week as well. So these are events, information sessions that are going to be taking place that you can go and get the information you need. Also, you can reach the departments in May for advising as well. You can go on their website, but rest assured, we're going to have information sessions on how and when to register. Okay. Now, year 1 students that are going to be declaring their program. We talked about the freshman students. We talked about the structure, and advising takes place at Arts OASIS. And now, as U1 students, you need to know the structure of how that works. And what we say is by the time you graduate, you need to have at least 2 programs, a major and a minor. We call it the multi-track system. And you need to have at least a major and a minor, that's option A, in 2 different academic units. We heard the students before talking about their programs. So you can do like a major in IDS, and then you need to pick a minor in something completely different, let's say anthropology, and the remaining credits are electives. So a major concentration is worth 36 credits, and a minor is worth 18. And elective courses are courses that are not used towards your major and your minor. And this is the option 1. What happens is you can also follow at option B, which means you can do 2 major concentrations. And I believe Yuongo is doing this. She's doing a major concentration in IDS and a major concentration in political science, and the remaining credits are electives. All required courses, what I mean by required courses is for your major and your minor, need to be passed with a grade of C or better, 55. Sometimes you may decide to do option C. So you see the flexibility of the degree. You may start out with a major and a minor, but it may change to 2 majors, or can change to do a major and 2 minors. Let's go into the option C. Now, option C is that you can do a major and 2 minors. I find that this is a very popular option for students that want to study psychology, because what they do is they do the major concentration in psychology of 36 credits, and then they do a minor concentration in something completely different from psychology, like anthropology and sociology, and then they do an additional minor in behavioral science, which is psychology. There they get the 54 credits that they need to further their studies if they want to go into grad school. So this is a very popular option if students are thinking about psychology. Now, you can see the flexibility for students doing major and a minor. Now, let's go into the next type of programs that we have in the Faculty of Arts. I did say that you must have a major and a minor by the time you graduate. However, there is an exception if you're doing a faculty program in industrial relation or environment. The faculty programs are worth 54 credits and they're interdisciplinary programs. So the way that they're structured is that they do have that other focus. So they're interdisciplinary programs, which means they have subjects that you can take subjects from other departments. Like, for example, IR, they have their industrial relation required courses, but you also can take economics and sociology courses. And environment too, they have their core environment courses, but you could also take economics, geography, and they're interdisciplinary, and they need to have 54 credits. The remaining credits will be electives. Now, next option, honors. Now, honors means you usually declare an honors program when you're a U2 student, when you're entering U2, not in your first year of studies. There is an exception, which I'll talk about in a couple of minutes. But in your first year but when you do decide to do honors, depending on the department, it can be 54 to 60 credits. Now, you also must have a minor in something completely different as well. So for example, if you're doing, one of the students was doing political science and a minor in languages and Hispanic studies, you need to have still that focus. You need to have 2 different focuses, and the remaining credits are electives. Now, in order to do honors, what you need is by the end of your U1 session, you speak to an advisor from the departments, and then you can just go on to Minerva and declare the honors. It's based on your grades. The faculty requirement, what I mean by faculty is the arts faculty, is you need to have at least a 3.0 CGPA, a B average, to enter and to maintain honors. But then again, the departments have their own requirements as well. Like some departments may require that you maintain a B+ in their courses. So that's why you would see the departmental advisor. Now, in some cases, you have to apply to do honors. This would be psychology and English. In order to do honors in English, you have to apply at the end of your U1. And if you get accepted, then you can do an honors in English and then pick your minor as well. You have to continue with the minor. The only honors program that you can begin as a U1 student, and that's economics. The reason why is because the economics department has different departments for the major concentration and different courses for the major concentration and different courses for the honors program. They have a different stream. And in order to do honors in economics, you have to have certain prerequisites. You need to have the math. So in something like this, if you are thinking, if you are a U1 student and you want to do honors, I really recommend that you contact the economics department first to ensure that you have the background. Okay, let's go into the next slide. Now, the joint honors, one of our ASAPs, Thomas is following this. The joint honors can be, again, it's much more specialized. You can do IDS, like Thomas is doing IDS and political science. It's 36 credits in each. You don't have to do a minor concentration because you have those 2 subjects, those 2 departments in there are 2 different units. So you could do this, much more specialized. It depends, like in the joint honors, political science, they may require you to do a seminar. History, for example, may require you to do a thesis, and you need to maintain the CGPA faculty of a 3.0, but again, the department may have a higher requirement for their programs. So it's really just much more specialized. You may need to do a thesis for one of your joint honors, and again, it really depends on the department, and that's why you need to consult with the department. Am I doing okay, Patricia?
Yes, you are. Yes, very clear so far. Thank you very much.
Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Now we want to talk a bit about how to register. And I know you all have questions about this, and I also explained that you're going to be getting these webinars by information from the CLE office around the week of the 25th, and they're going to give you webinars on how to register. It explains to you in the guide for new students how to register. Our registration system is called Minerva, and when it opens up, you'll receive information when you'll have access in June to register. You're also going to receive information about attending information sessions on advising, about the structure of the BA degree, and also to ask us questions. So rest assured, it's a bit too early to register. Registration is going to happen in June, and all the information about how to register you're going to get towards the end of May. I do want to talk about the ad drop period, and what that means is like you're shopping around for courses, and we have 2 ad drop periods. We have one in the fall and one in the winter, and it's always the first 2 weeks. So when you register for courses, the maximum course that you can register is 5, and each course is worth 3 credits. And what happens is that's the time that you can change your mind. You can attend one class, and if you decide you don't want to take it, you can drop it and replace it with another course. It's shopping around, but by the end of the drop ad period, you should have all the courses that you want to take. Now, when you're using a new system, there's always registration problems. And if you go to the following link, it explains to you how you can find how-tos and how to resolve common registration issues. We also have this in the guide for new students, so I'd really recommend that you use it. We also recommend that on Minerva, you're going to have access to your student record. We always recommend that you look in just to make sure you're taking, to verify your record, just to make sure you are registered for the right courses, okay? So that's it. Next slide. I believe, okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, next slide is course load issues. Now this is important because to be full-time, you need to have at least 12 credits on your record per term. 12 credits are 4 courses, each course is worth 3. So the normal course is 12 to 15 credits, right? Now what I recommend, and I always say this for new students, is to register for 5 courses in the first semester, right, during drop ad. And if you find, because look, it's a big transition coming from high school, coming from CEGEP. It's 13 weeks of classes, right, in the fall. So think of it this way. So by midweek, by the 6th, 7th week, you're writing midterms. By the 13th week, you've already done a midterm paper, and then you're going into finals. 4 times it with 4 courses. It's a lot, right? And 5. What I recommend, register for 5, and during drop ad, make your study schedule, see what's feasible, and drop 1 and take 4. By the winter semester, things will get easier. You can register for 5 and get used to it. And in the summer, you have so many opportunities. Things are going to change. You might be able to take a summer course at McGill, or maybe when things change, you might be even able to take a summer course at your home university or somewhere else. And that's how you can catch up. You may even be able to do an internship for credit, and we're going to talk more about internships in a minute, okay? So course load, full-time, you just need, it's usually 12 to 15 credits, but we do recommend 12 credits in your first term because it's a big transition. SU option. Now the SU option stands for satisfactory, unsatisfactory, and you can only add this option during the drop ad period via Minerva. You can only use it for electives, and it's only 10% of the courses that you've been admitted. So for example, if you came into a 120 credit program with no advanced standing, you can use 10% of 120, that's 12 credits, 4 courses under the SU of electives. You can add it during the drop ad period. And what SU means is if you get a grade of a C or better, a 55, you get an S. If you get less than a C, a D or less, you get a U. And it's not calculating your CGPA. If you get a U, you don't get credits for it. If you get an S, you get credits for it. Now, this is a good idea because you can only use it for electives, and it doesn't affect your CGPA. For example, I'm not very good with languages. So I would, let's say I decide to take an elective, a language course, and I'm not sure I'm going to do as well. I just want to practice it. I would take that course under the SU option, and I'll just get the credits. I'll get a C, have it under SU, get 3 credits, and it won't affect my CGPA. Courses outside the faculties of arts and science. Now, what we mean by this are courses that are offered in management, nursing, education. And all BA students are allowed to take 12 credits of electives outside the faculties of arts and science, and unless you're in certain designated programs. For example, if you're in the faculty program in industrial relations, you've applied and got accepted to do a minor in management, then you're allowed to go up to 30 credits outside the faculty of arts and science, which means 18 credits usually can be used towards your program requirements, and then you have 12 credits of electives. Okay. Course overlap. Course overlap in this case means statistics. A lot of departments have their own statistics courses, but they're considered equivalent. For example, psychology offers the first stats course 204, and mathematics has stats math 203. Both these courses overlap in the sense that they are equivalent to each other. So please make sure that you don't take the same stats course twice. Always refer to the website, or just contact Arts OASIS and speak to right now an advisor. You can find the information how to contact us on our website. So just make sure you do that. Another thing, also we use the term course overlap a lot for the major and the minor. You're not allowed to use the same course that you use for your major towards your minor. So there's no course overlap between majors and minors or honors and minors. So what you use for your major, you cannot use for your minor. We use course overlap term for that as well. Okay, here's an example of how a transcript should look. Okay, and this is how you're going to be able to access Omniverse and see it. And we have a student. I need to wear my glasses here. The print's a bit too small. We have a student that's coming in as a freshman student, and they have advanced standing English, right, 1XX, English as a second language. And if you go under advanced standing and transfer credits, you see 6 credits already towards the 120 credit degree. Underneath, once you complete those courses, you're going to see that it's going to add up. Like if you complete 9 credits from the fall, the 9 and the 6, it's going to add up to 15. You also see that the student's taking a French course, and it's a full year course. That's why you can tell that because it says a D1. In the winter semester, it's going to say D2. And this is a perfect example of a freshman's transcript, how it should look. What's nice is they have a variety of courses: anthropology, French, that's the social media, the LLCU course, that's a first year seminar course, and a political science. So that's really like the student is exploring different programs. So that's really good. And that's the perfect example of how a transcript should look. Now, this is a student who is coming from CEGIP, I believe, and is in U1. You see already at the bottom, advanced standing and transfer credits, they already have 30 credits towards the 120. But they also have a 300 level course, I believe. No, yes, they have two 300 level courses in philosophy and 2 other philosophy courses. So 4 political philosophy courses and another language course. Now, we really recommend as a U1 student not to take 300 level courses in your first semester, because usually you need prerequisites to take those 300 level courses. We also recommend that you don't take most of your courses in one subject. So remember, this is an opportunity. So if you want to do a major in philosophy, take 2 200 level courses. See your departmental advisor to make sure you're taking the right 200 level courses, and then take another course. If you're going to do a minor in history, take a course in history to start exploring, and then take the language course and maybe another elective. You might be able to change your mind. The BA degree is so flexible that by the winter term, you may decide that that course you originally wanted for your minor will end up being your major, and then reversing it. So we just treat your first semester as something that can change. And you don't feel like it's so fixed that you won't be able to change it. You can, okay? That's what's gonna happen in your first year. Now, opportunities outside the class. We're gonna talk a lot. I'm sure you have a lot of questions about this, and most of the students have done this. You can study at another institution. There's 2 ways of studying in another institution. You can do it independently, aren't on an exchange. Now, an exchange means that McGill has an agreement with other institutions where their students can come to McGill and our students can go to their institutions and studies. You usually go on an exchange the year before you graduate. Now, what happens is because it's competitive. So in order to apply to go on an exchange, you need a CGPA of a 3.00, a B average. Now, sometimes you may want to go to another institution that we don't have an agreement with. So you can go independently, which means you need a CGPA of a 2.7 to apply, but it also means that you're going to have to do your research as well. But these are things that you're going to start thinking about maybe towards your first year, towards the end of your first year. We're going to have a lot of information sessions about studying away. So we always ask students to stay tuned when they're in September or October to attend these information sessions. We do have field studies. Now, there's different ways of doing field studies. Sometimes some departments have their field studies courses like anthropology and geography. We also have field studies semesters abroad like Barbados and the African Field Studies Program and the Panama. For now, because of the pandemic, they didn't happen this year, but maybe by next year things may change. But for now, we're still putting things on hold, but we're hoping that things are going to be better soon. Research, there's a lot of opportunities to do research. I'm going to have the students talk more about their experience in its area. Sometimes you can actually work for a professor and get credit and maybe a bonus, like finance bonus as well. So I'm going to have the students talk more about this. And internships. We also have our own arts internship office, and there's two ways of doing an internship. You can do it for no credit or for credit. And the purpose of doing an internship is to getting that supervised experience and what you've learned in the classroom to apply it after in the work environment. So we're going to talk more about that later on as well. I guess with the internships, what you want to keep in mind is it's really just getting that supervised experience.
Thank you, Nelly. I'm having problems with the PowerPoint. We are coming to an end, which is not a problem. So while I open up the presentation as well, let me go ahead and switch it over to wellness.
Oh, okay. Well, the wellness advisor, our faculty has a wellness advisor. And I like how it's Bianca Bernetti, and I really like how she explains her role. Like, I'm an academic advisor for your studies. Well, she's an academic advisor, but for your wellness. And what we do is we promote the wheel. So we're saying that all these 8 aspects of the wheel work together. So if there's something wrong in one of the wheels, like for example, if you're not doing well financially, it may sometimes affect you academically. So we have a lot of tools in the Faculty of Arts of how to get this wheel working, making sure that it keeps going and you're keeping living in a healthy environment and taking care of yourself during your academics.